Hello, welcome to a very wet and rainy Costa del Sol. Actually, it's quite warm, but it's just, yeah, you can't see the mountain. Okay, hello. So what I'd like to do with this video is to give you some tips on creating a good working relationship with your builder, therefore being able to get the most out of them and get the most out of your building project and your hard-earned money that you're spending on your house. As I've said before, 20 years I've been in this industry. I've had quite a few employees over the years, lots of subcontractors in 4 different countries, and lots of customers. So you name it, I've seen it, done it, got the carrier bag, and then ended up doing it again. There isn't much that surprises me anymore, but I'm sure there are a few left in store. So, but I think these tips that I'm about to talk about they kind of, they work in any industry and in general, just the way you interact with people. So it's not a lecture, it's not a rant. This is just designed to help you get the most out of your builder and your hard-earned money that you're spending on your house. So without further ado, I think one of the first things to acknowledge is that, before we get into it, is that the understanding that your home is your home, but your home doubles up as our work environment. This is where lines and boundaries get a little bit blurry. So the next few points are to help kind of tighten up those lines and help you understand what's going on. I think primarily it's easy. It needs to be understood that working with a builder is a relationship based on trust, which is a two-way street. The builder trusts that you're going to pay the money, and you trust that when you pay the money, the builder's going to do a good job and not actually run off with your money. And yes, that does happen. And it happens the other way as well, with customers not paying. So the first one is to acknowledge that it's a relationship based on trust. On a more serious note, the other thing is to pay. And I know this is always a tricky one. Money's always a tricky one between people. But it's the same when I've had subcontractors, employees. If I don't pay them on a Friday, they're not there on a Monday. And it starts building resentment and mistrust and all the rest of it. It's always a bit of a sticking point. It doesn't come up a lot for me. I haven't had it a lot. Most people are, I'd say 99% of people are really good with paying. But I have heard some horror stories from other builders, and before they know it, they've done 2 or 3 weeks work and there's no pay, and then they can't find the customer and all the rest of it. So always pay, but also ask for a breakdown of payments. Most builders work on either a day rate if the job is too complicated to price, or there's no way of pricing it in terms of how long it's going to take. And the other way to do it is to do it in stage payments. So deposit up front, then when you get to this part of the work, do this, and then again when you get to the next stage, pay another payment, and then when you get to the next one. But get it outlined in some sort of a contract or an email. So again, this is all about communication. So just communicate between the two of you. Where I've known people go wrong, customers and builders, is when nothing's written down. And I think again this goes for life in general. If it's not written down, it's not clear, you've got nothing to refer back to. And that just causes resentment and unnecessary negative atmosphere between the two of you. So get it clear, get it down in writing so that both of you can refer back to it if needs be. And as a builder, if you come across something that's outside of what you've quoted for, or that's going to cause you a problem, same thing, talk to your customer about it. And the same with the customer. Listen and go, and try and understand. And if you don't understand, ask again. You don't have to feel stupid about it. You don't have to feel like, oh, crikey. Just ask, and they'll tell you again. This has happened. We couldn't see this. This is unforeseen, and it's going to cost you an extra amount of money. It's that simple. The other thing is, most of us have got a really good sense of humour, and I talk about us collectively, us builders. Most of us have got a wicked sense of humour, and I'm really lucky to have worked with some of the funniest people I've ever met. and some quite, you find a lot of characters in the building trade. So my suggestion is to ignore the grumpy ones, because there was always the grumpy one. Ignore them, and but you know, crack a few jokes with your builder, and again, you wouldn't believe how quickly your builder will start doing a lot of things for you. I shouldn't be telling you these trade secrets, but everybody loves a bit of banter, and possibly no one more than builders. I think it's the only industry you can actually get away with being pretty cutting when it comes to humour, and pretty near to the bone. So my only advice would be, don't be offended. It'll be pretty obvious if your builder's not happy with you, because there won't be any jokes. But most of the time, 99% of us got an awesome sense of humour. Use it, utilise it, enjoy it while we're there. You'll have a good time. Other than that, yeah. So there's payments on time. Involve your builder. You know, involve your builder. Ask for their expertise. Ask for their opinion. Where would you have the kitchen sink? Where would you have the dining room table? Do you think this window looks good there? You know, where's the best bit for the light? And they'll love it. They absolutely love it. I love it. I love being asked, because I can, you know, it's like I'm more involved. So involve them. Get to know their sense of humour. Make quite a few cups of tea and coffee. Make them feel looked after. A pack of biscuits costs snaffle, but you wouldn't believe how far that will go with builders. And if you're feeling really generous, a bacon sandwich always goes down a treat. Yeah, but don't allow any builder to be aggressive in your home. On this serious note, don't allow it. Don't allow them to be aggressive. Don't allow them to, if you think they're not doing much, or they're not sticking to the plans. Again, this is why things need writing down in an email or a contract of some sort. Then you can refer back, but be honest about it. I think the same with anybody. If we're unhappy with a shop or a service we're being provided, or someone else, the worst thing you can do is go in with all guns blazing. Because the other person just does the same. I mean, this is kind of like, you know, psychology 101. But if you go in and say that, you know, I'm not happy, I'm feeling that this is occurring, and I'm feeling that you're doing it, that this is not happening, or that, you know, whatever the situation is, but talk about it calmly. And if you do feel at the end of the day that you need to change builders, don't be afraid to, at all. My only other top tip would be to have a retainer on the job, a small one for the end. Often people try and leave a big payment to the end, and with big companies that's fine. With smaller builders, that's a bit more difficult for them with their cash flow, but always leave something at the end. I normally leave it at somewhere between 500 and 1,000. If it's a really big renovation, it will be more than that, and this is enough for the builder to come back and do what they said they were going to do, and this is also a large enough amount that the builder will chase it in court if they need to. So it's, and that sounds kind of, you know, like a warning, but it's not meant as a warning. This is completion payments are always a bit of a tricky one, but if the job's finished and there are a couple of snags and there's 500 outstanding, the builder will come back. If there's only 100 outstanding, they probably won't bother. That's just human nature. If, you know, there's 500 to 1,000 outstanding and there's nothing wrong with the job, that is enough for the builder, if they're insured and have with a small business federation or something like that, that the solicitors will take it up in small claims court or something like that. But hopefully it doesn't come to that stage, because if you stick to everything else, or both the builder and the client, if everybody sticks to what they said they're going to do and sticks to building a rapport and trust and respect and communication, then nothing's going to go wrong and it doesn't matter. This is a bit of a lengthy video, I think, so I hope those tips have helped and have given you a bit of an insight into what potentially you're walking into or taking on if you hire a builder to do a renovation for you, or an extension or small works, whatever it is. And hopefully, if both parties stick to some of the things I've learned over the years, you will have you'll get the most out of your builder, and you'll also have you'll have enjoyed the experience, and your builder will get recommended, and you'll probably want them again. So everybody's a winner, and they'll probably do you a few more favours because we're soft as lights, really. And you wouldn't believe how many times I've gone home and been moaned at that I did a load of stuff for free. It's just the way it is. So yeah, I hope that's helped. I'll better get back to work before I get moaned at and before somebody says you're not doing anything, you're busy doing vlogs. So I'm going to say adios from the wet and rainy Costa del Sol. Adios from SMH Build.